I'm in my little trailer, my little Springdale by Keystone. I've been working on this little bugger. I put in a new, larger TV. What else did I do? I put in a slide topper. Came with one 20-pound propane tank, so I doubled up. Now we have two 20-pounders with that Mopica propane gauge that you look at on your phone. It's pretty accurate. I did some work in the shower. We've got a WindGuard internet on the roof. I got solar on the roof. What else have I done to this thing? I can't even keep track. I better make a list because I am selling this camper. I am jazzing this up to sell it because I want one that's a little bit bigger so I can travel a little further with June. A little bigger, that's all. So today's project, replace this silly little kitchen sink. I'm telling you, you know how I feel about sinks, right? This all started way back with my Pleasure Way. And it was a big hit. In fact, I started putting in big sinks with the Pleasure Way, and now I always put in a big sink. But when I sold the Pleasure Way, I put in a second big sink. There's two sinks in that Pleasure Way. You know, besides all this humble road van building, I'm a highly regarded chef. That's right. I've got my tushy. You load these things up, wrap them in saran wrap, put them in the fridge overnight. And then they kind of become one with the thing. Then you slice them. Now we got fresh tushy. Fresh tushy. You all love my tushy. And then I make frittatas, but I think they're fajitas. And then there's my seafood casserole. This is a $35 meal at a fancy restaurant, done right here in the van. Do I get lucky or what? Right? So I got to thinking, what could I do to improve meal prep in a van? Day-to-day meal prep in a van. It hit me. A second sink. That's right, a second sink. Look at this, the Class A of Class B vans. All right, calm down, George. So I'm taking out this piece of shit plastic sink, and I'm putting in a beautiful stainless steel sink, really pretty, and a new faucet that has a built-in drinking water faucet with the cartridge underneath. This week, John assembled the Maple Galley for the first Maxi Me van. I think you hit the off button. I did. We thought it would be a nice touch to have a recessed strip light under the Galley toe kick. So John and Ron ran it through the table saw with the dado stack. So I've got this all marked out. The little sink is gone, and I know where I'm going to make my cuts so that I just cover that little drain hole back there. I'm just going to make it. Ron is building the airline cabinets for the She2Me transit van. An engineering marvel, these cabinets will prove to be an incredibly useful storage space on either side of the bed. You'll see. Over here we have a mattress. This is going to be a beautiful mattress. This galley has got a tower down at the far end. That'll be a bank of drawers. And we're going to put a little television up on top there. But this is these mattresses, if they're done right, you've got a lot of room. Look at that galley, how beautiful. She's got a microwave. The sink is in the middle. We've got our water. We've got our water heater. This one's going to be a beauty. Well, I've got the sink in. It's not operational. The faucet's not done yet, but I just wanted to make sure everything fits, which it does. Now I get it all cleaned up, get all my builder's lines cleaned off, get the old caulk cleaned off, and then I can mount this sink and faucet and charge it up. Sink and faucet assembled. So what I did is I took my opener fittings and I made some connections on the back of this faucet here, because I know I want to shut off to my cold water to the sink, and I also have my secondary water line to go to the filtration system, and then my hot water also with a shut off, and a short little flute on each of these that I can tie in to the existing. Now what's in this camper van is PEX B. PEX B is the kind that you crimp with the steel bands. It does not stretch. What I use in my van builds, and I will be using in this trailer now, is PEX A, Pro PEX. What I use is opener fittings, and what happens here is we stretch these collars on the PEX A tubing and push them onto the fittings. This stuff is great. PEX A, Pro PEX, opener, however you want to call it. So I got all my shutoffs in place. Now I'm basically going to fit the sink again with my plumbing in place. Let me see if I can do this elegantly without too much of a problem. So I'm just going to lay those lines in there, and I put the sink back in. It just fits past that. Oh, get in there. There we go. Okay, perfect fit. Now let me show you what's going on under here. So the sink is out yet again, and that allows me to get in here and mount a mounting board, just 1/2-inch plywood out of our scrap bucket. I found a stud in the wall, and I'll mount this board to that stud, and then I can mount my PEX lines to this. We installed spreader lights all around the Vagabond van for the new owners. And Amir's van got a magnificent new bed bridge to span over new removable custom dog crates. And over here in Roxy, I've just about got my Aqua Hot system all finished. I've got it all plumbed. The next step is to do the wiring. It's only a daunting task the first time you do it, but it turns out this is a very simple, efficient way to make heat and hot water. Here's one instance. I've got one of their heating units, one of their heat exchangers is blowing heat into the garage, and that's a separate isolated zone. So they're going to warm their bed. And then we also have a heating register in the shower. This is going to be really nice. This shower box is going to be toasty warm. And we printed our own register cover to direct the heat down. It's coming through the wall and down. And this register cover also will protect it from the shower water. So this is a really elegant shower. Love the glossy white. And these are those AquaView controls where we are sending the water back to the tank until it gets warm enough for a shower. So you don't waste that water waiting for the water to warm up. So the sink is in, the water's tied, and that works without any leaks. I do have to connect my drain. As you can see, the drain from the sink is lower than its entrance into the drain pipe over here. So I'm going to have to be cutting that drain pipe and reshaping it. But on the back wall there, you can see I put my little mounting block, little plywood pad that I can then screw to. So I've got my hot and cold lines over there. I've got shutoffs. And if you look further back, you can see those shark bites to the right. Very excited, very happy to be able to use these new Shark Bite Max. These things are now touted to be used inside the wall. You can bury them. A lot of good reviews. And what I love about them, as you can see in this picture, is that I'm connecting PEX B, which is the typical crimp type of PEX connector. I'm connecting that directly to my PEX A, my Pro PEX that I use with Opener. This is a huge, huge advantage to be able to just quickly connect from PEX B to PEX A. And then I can move forward with all my Opener work. I've got a water filtration system. There's my filter down there. Oops, a little hot. Let me see if I can't take that down a little bit. Oh, that's better. So I've got a canister filter, and I positioned it on the back wheel well of the trailer so that to change it once a season, let's say, just pull these drawers out and you can reach in and swap out that canister for a new one. Loosey-goosey, very easy. So I'm very happy the way this turned out. And let me get brighter now. Here we go. I'm going to have another cup of coffee, and then I'm going to go hang a mirror in the bathroom. I'm thinking about putting another sink in that bathroom. Let's go take a look. This is a decent sink. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a little small, and I don't like the faucet being so close to the basin. It's tough to wash your hands or anything without making a mess. So I'm thinking about putting in a nice big sink in here, a little bit deeper sink, and a bar-style gooseneck faucet. Or maybe the one I use in the Mini-Me. I've got plenty of room. This is a pretty decent vanity. I got a lot of room downstairs in here. And my shower, I put in this arm. You've seen these arms. This helps a great deal. This shower is 21 inches wide, 21 by 36. And it's just okay. It's just okay. But when you put this in, you know, now this sends your shower curtain further out, and it gives you a ton more elbow room. And another little trick that I'm trying, it seems to work quite well, is I use a clear shower curtain rather than something opaque like white. With the clear shower curtain, it's almost as if you're showering in the entire bathroom. So there's no claustrophobic feeling with a clear shower curtain. Pretty cool. That works very well. So I think I solved that problem of the smaller shower. So like I said, maybe a new sink here. Another little trick that I do is I keep an open filter of coffee grinds. I just leave that here in the bathroom, and it does open up and give me a nice coffee aroma in here. Keeps it smelling fresh. But that's where I'm going to put my mirror. I'm going to put a powered mirror, the one I put in my Mini-Me's. I'm going to mount that underneath that cabinet. I'm going to do that right now. You know, convention, commonality, you know, what you would normally think about is that you would mount the mirror like this. You know, you'd look for a spot. Now, I happen to know this is an outside wall, so I am not keen on mounting there. This is an inside wall. I'm okay with that. I did have to replace this outlet when I first got the camper, GFCI. So I know that these wires go down and up. I don't imagine there's anything over here. And the fail-safe stud finder that my dad showed me how to do back in probably 1968 when I was 11. You can hear that right here. I've got a stud right there, but not here. This thing goes that way instead of that way. So knowing that, I've got two screw holes to work with. I'm going to put a number 8 3/4 screw up here into the stud, and I'll use a 1/2 inch screw a little further down. It only has to catch the Luan. But as I started to say, this is where you would kind of think about where you're going to put that mirror. But I think the best way to approach this, because of the stud, is to mount it upside down like that. Now, I can still bring it out and use it while sitting on this toilet seat, but now it opens up all this counter space. So there are some little things you need to think about when you do any project, map it out, block it out. You still got some room under here. I could put it down here, but the stud's up there. So that's where I'm going to put it. Okay. That's nice. It's these little touches that make trailer life, or van life, as it were, just a little bit nicer. Younger people are willing to live out of milk crates. I did. Even to this day, my kids tease me because at one point in my life, I said that I could live on a 70-foot yacht or I could live in a 70-gallon barrel. I can adjust. So I hear that a lot from them. I could live in a 70-pound barrel. Anyway, look how nice this is now. June can sit here and get all her face put on in the morning. And the nice thing is this is a rechargeable, this is a lighted mirror with a bunch of colored, daylight, warmth. I can charge this right here. Just plug it in, USB. So how do you like that? Perfect, right? Done.